Welcome to the Courting Happiness podcast. This is a space where self-care becomes part of your day. A space where you learn evidence-based strategies to help your life, share it with those you love, and cultivate well-being at work. I'm your host, Dr. Kortni Alston. I'm a former news director, television reporter turned happiness scholar, TEDx speaker, and transformational trainer. I also understand hardships. While working my dream job in television, I lived a nightmare suddenly becoming a young widow after 86 days of marriage. I became committed to learning more about resilience, healing, and happiness. This is how I discovered my area of research, which is positive psychology. Now I'm living my calling of training individuals and organizations on happiness. And my new chapter begins with being happily engaged. The Courting and Courting Happiness is about a true courtship. I like to say commitment with happiness. The K in courting stands for the vulnerability of sharing my story, inspirational interviews with phenomenal people, the infusion of positive psychology, and so much more. You'll learn how to commit to your well-being one episode at a time. I hope you subscribe and share. So, are you ready? Let's get started. Welcome to episode 120. I'm Dr. Kortni Alston. I'm so happy that you're here. Well, it's the new year. We're a couple of weeks in, and you might be thinking about, well, you probably already started thinking about creating your goals for the new year, or maybe you're starting to think about them now. There's no judgment. So we often talk about when it's the new year, right? You hear so much about, people thinking about getting fit, right? Your health. But what's also important is thinking about your well-being. Your well-being. So think about it. Let's say your goal for 2023 is weight loss. Matter of fact, that's one of my goals, weight loss goal, right? And you might be searching for ways to get healthier. You're creating a plan, which I've done for myself, starting to do. For example, your plan might be going to the gym. I will tell you, my plan is actually spending a lot of time on the treadmill I have at home, along with some of my other exercise routines, and kind of dividing it between my time at home and then also outdoors. I look forward to, one of my goals, I should say, that I'm looking forward to is walking around my college campus where I serve as a chair and an associate professor. And so I'm looking forward to that. So, but I'm just not saying, okay, I want to focus in on weight loss and that's it, right? I'm creating a plan. I'm thinking about how to create a healthier me, right? So for example, like I mentioned, going to the gym, or some of the things that I just mentioned in regards to, say, walking around campus, and also spending a lot of time getting to know my treadmill here at home, right? But it's about those plans. It's about being specific, right? Like I mentioned, the treadmill, and going on the treadmill a certain time every day, as well as it might be strength training, right? How am I going to go about practicing strength training today? Or I'm going to focus on cardio, right? That's really specific. It's really clear. And we need to have a clear plan when it comes down to our well-being. And I really, truly believe in the value and the power of writing it all down. So developing a well-being strategy is a true priority. It will allow you to be intentional about your well-being, and it will also allow you to be specific, right, in regards to how you're going to go about meeting these goals. Now, if you're wondering, well, how do I go about doing this when it comes down to my well-being? Don't worry. It's truly a piece of cake. I mean it. Really, it's a piece of cake. In this case, it's a pie. So I say that because one of the leading happiness researchers, Dr. Sonia Lyubomirsky, has a pie chart that will help you have a clearer understanding of happiness. Matter of fact, her research, her work, and her book, The How to Happiness, was one of the first scientific, first books that I read in positive psychology, first scientific journals I started to dive into in positive psychology when I was working on my PhD at the University of Florida. One of the key recommendations from my mentor while working on my PhD, who teaches positive psychology and one of the leading scholars in meaningful work. That was his highest recommendation to get me started, was Dr. Lyubomirsky's work. And so it's literally a piece of cake. Like I said, a pie. It's a pie chart. Her pie chart really helps you understand what determines happiness. So this is what she says. 50%, if you're looking at imagining a pie or a pie chart, right? 50% is by our biology, our genetics. That's part of the pie. Another 10% of that pie is life circumstances. 40% of that pie are intentional activities. That's right. Intention matters. Positive activities matter. So if you're wondering how to begin, I have a plan that will help you get started. I created a well-being journal that will really help you develop your plan, cultivate intention, and really share how positive psychology can help every step of the way as it relates to your well-being goals. It will help, really, this journal, this well-being journal, will jumpstart your 2023 in terms of your goals to really serve you as it relates to your well-being. And the best part is the price point. It's free. It's completely free. I love being able to create this material. I believe in sharing value, and I believe in being able to provide resources that are really going to serve. And so for you to get yours, you can go to drkortnialston.training/journal well. That's drkortnialston.training/journal well. drkortnialston.training/journal well. Or you can go to drkortnialston.com/podcast/episode 120, and you can find it right there. So you'll also find it on the show note page of this podcast episode. So it will be right there for you. And the Wellbeing Journal will provide some bonus tips on my all-time favorite positive activity. I get really excited over it. So it's some bonus tips in regards to some bonus activities that will help you as it relates to my all-time favorite activity. And also one of my key character strengths. One of my key character strengths that I learned taking the VIA, the Values in Action Character Strength Survey. So really some great information in regards to the value of incorporating positive activities. I also highly recommend sharing the link with your family and friends. Sharing it with someone that's a part of your self-care squad. It will really help motivate you. It can also be a great group activity, so you can work on it individually and share together as a collective, kind of creating community around committing to your well-being as a group in 2023. So I am looking forward to hearing more from you as it relates to the Well-Being Journal. And again, you can find it on the episode page of this podcast, which is drkortnialston.com/podcast/episode 120. Always remember this: your well-being is your most important job, and I'm always here to help. Thank you so much for listening. Let's continue this conversation online. Email us at podcast@drkortnialston.com. That's podcast@drkortnialston.com. Join us on Instagram at Courting Happiness. Don't forget, that's courting with a K. Also, I hope you join our private Facebook community. You can find us at Courting Happiness Podcast Community. Our private Facebook group is a safe haven to share, meet more people looking to build positive relationships, focus on well-being, and create a happier life. Now, are you ready to spread happiness? We hope you subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, coworkers, and all the important people in your world. We release a new episode every Thursday. Congratulations on your continued commitment to your courting happiness journey. Thank you so much for listening. We want you to be well, be happier, and be kinder to yourself. We can't wait to see you next week.